Childhood abuse made her want to unalive everybody that she crossed paths with. How many of you have ever seen the old Lifetime movie Child of Rage? It is about a little girl named Kat and her older brother John. Kat and John were taken in by a couple because they were raised by a drunken, abusive father. This father did awful, terrible, disgusting things to Kat. And because of this, Kat was in a mental state to where all she wanted to do was hurt people. She wanted to unalive people. It wasn't just people, though. It was animals, too. It was the dog in the house. It was her brother. It was her new mommy. It was her new daddy. It was her therapist. Literally anybody she came in contact with. A classmate, a teacher. And what ended up happening in the movie was there was a book that was read about unaliving kids, not about kids that like to unalive. And in the book, it mentions the hold down method. So what happened is the therapist and the parents held this little girl down and was basically saying, who's the boss now? Who's in charge now? Why are you mad? Why do you want to unalive us? And just going on and on. The little girl's jerking back and forth. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I'm going to unalive you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Just like I did to the dog. Just like I did to this person and that and this. Before she eventually has what appears to be a breakthrough. But the way that the movie ends, I don't know. It has been some years since I've seen it. However, I have been seeing some things going around social media where people are like, whatever happened to this girl? Because said movie was based on a true story. Well, this little girl's name was actually Beth Thomas, and her brother's name was actually Eric. The entirety of their story is true. Along with the fact that Kat, aka Beth, did eventually wind up having a breakthrough. Beth and Eric were adopted by this couple after their birth mother passed away, and they had suffered severe abuse from their biological father. SA was a big part of what Beth had to endure. Beth started to display uncontrollable rage, huge violent acts of behavior, aggressiveness. And just like in the movie, resulted in her trying to harm and attack a dog and her brother. Beth actually wound up being diagnosed with reactive attachment disorder, which is a condition that affects Beth's ability to form actual emotional, healthy bonds and relationships, especially with people that she looks at in some type of caregiver position, such as a parent, so to speak, because of the trauma that she experienced. And again, just like in the movie, Beth underwent extensive therapy so that she could overcome her RAD, so that she could, find a breakthrough, so that she could figure out how to cope through her trauma. And she did. She did overcome this. Beth actually wound up pursuing a degree as a registered nurse, graduating from the University of Colorado and working at Flagstaff Medical Center. She since started using her experiences and her traumas to be an advocate for other children with RAD, which I think is a beautiful thing that she was able to take such an awful childhood experience and turn it into something that could help so many others long term. Kind of an interesting, well, not kind of, it's really an interesting story. If you've never seen Child of Rage, it's not the best movie in the world. It is an older movie, but it does have an interesting backstory. So I do encourage people to watch it and then, of course, do a deep dive into the real life events, since it is based on that true life story. It's a Lifetime movie. I'm sure it probably won't be too hard to find. Maybe check YouTube. But yeah, I just figured I would share that with all of you. I came across it, and so I started doing my own research, and I found interesting what I discovered. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. It's Wednesday, right? Yeah, it's Wednesday. I am running on caffeine and legitimately no sleep thanks to my brain, but it could be worse. Have a great Wednesday. I love your faces, and toodles. Love you. Bye.